Hello beautiful people, how are you guys? I'm trying on my side. I've been wanting to do this video. I'm not going to be very elaborative on it. I'm sure many people would have been aware of what I'm going to talk about. By the time I am now talking about it, it's a thing of the past for many, but there is just one thing that I want us to learn from it. You must have heard about the case of Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella Robinson is an American girl. She was 25, I believe. She had friends, and amongst these friends there was just one male friend that was her best friend. This friend had his other friends that would be Shanquella's friends by default as well. Now this best friend and this other friends of his, they arranged a trip to Mexico, and on this trip they invited Shanquella. Shanquella used to work while she was studying as well. She said to have been working as well, and she even had a medical aid, which is usually called the health insurance in America. Fine. Now they go to Mexico. On the very day, within the 24 hours of their arrival in Mexico, the accommodation, which is said to have been paid by Shanquella, which I don't understand how come Shanquella had to be the one that was paying for the accommodation of which she was invited. These people seem to have planned the trip. They were gonna go on this trip without her. The male friend was the one that invited her. How does it get to a point where now she has to be responsible and liable to pay for the accommodation? It beats me. I don't understand how. But then they get there. Upon their arrival, within 24 hours, there is a phone call that goes to her mother. It's coming from this best friend, this male best friend, to say to the mother, Shanquella is not feeling well. When she's asking what is wrong with her, he says she seems to have been drinking a lot and she's not okay. Now when the mother says, may I please speak to her, the friend says, no, she is resting. She can't come to the phone. She's a bit sleeping now. She is resting. Fine. The mother knows her child not to be well, but she also suggests that, you know what, how about you guys take her to the hospital? And this friend says that the hospital wants $5,000. And the mother now is in shock, but she knew Shanquella to be having the health insurance, so she does not understand why would they want that kind of amount of money if she has a health insurance. But since Mexico is another country, guys, maybe she thought that maybe Mexico does not agree to use her health insurance there. Fine. There was also a second call, and still she doesn't get to talk to her daughter. Now here's the amazing thing. Within that 24 hours they are back to America. These people are packing their things. They come back to America. There are 6 of them, by the way. It's 3 boys and 3 girls. She was the 7th, so meaning she was the 4th girl, and there were 3 boys. Fine. Now the 3 girls and the 3 boys come back. The maid that was working there at the accommodation when he gets into the room, he finds Shanquella's body in there. Now, they call the police come, and there is an autopsy. Fine. Now, when things when the police start investigating, they find that, man, there was a time when the ambulance was called. So the emergency services came, called by these 6, while Shanquella was unconscious. And their report says they worked on her for about 3 hours and she was not responsive. But they suggested to these 6 that she needs to be taken to the hospital. But the 6 said, no, please don't take her to the hospital. She'll be fine. She'll be okay. She just drank alcohol. It must be alcohol poisoning. And the part that I don't understand is, why are the emergency services listening to these 6? And I mean, the emergency people are skilled to see if somebody is responsive and non-responsive. And if a person is non-responsive, I really do believe that the emergency services are across the world, they do know what they should do next. How come they agreed to leave a person that is non-responsive with the 6 people that have got no medical experience whatsoever? It's surprising. Fine. Then the post-mortem shows that there was laxation. Laxation is like when a person breaks your neck. You know, when a person, like, it was something like that, and her neck bone was also broken. The spinal cord and the neck bone are broken, both of them. And the postmortem says she, in that condition, she may have died within 15 minutes. Now you ask yourself that 15 minutes, she may have died in 15 minutes. But then the ambulance people says they worked on her for 3 hours. That's surprising, but fine. Why is the police and everybody still talking about this and wanting to know how come the 6 people decided, the 6 friends decided to leave their friend that is unconscious there and came home like nothing happened? And the male friend keeps on going to the mother. The male friend went 4 times, about 4 times, going to the mother, consoling the mother, and implying that Shanquella was killed by alcohol poisoning. And the mother believes, I mean, this is a friend. Then thereafter, I think after 4 days, the mother gets the report. What do they call it? The postmortem report. The postmortem report states that no, this girl was broken, like and that can only happen through injury or a fight or something, some forceful impact. And guess what? Along those days, he disappears. Apart from disappearing, there is a video that surfaces. The video now contains a fight. The video depicts a fight in which Shanquella was hit by a girl called I forgot this girl. I forgot that girl. Is it Chardonnay or something like that? That girl was beating up Shanquella very badly. She was beating her up, and Shanquella was not fighting back. At no given time in that footage is she fighting back for herself. A friend, the very male friend, can be heard saying, at least try to fight back. Aren't you going to try and fight back? None of the 6 people helped Shanquella while she was beaten up by this girl. And at a certain time, even though the fight happened, like, you know, she was throwing her, you can tell that there is a chance that she may have gotten the injury of breaking a neck and the spinal cord in one of the movements that you can depict on the video that this girl was imposing on her. Now, why am I making this video? We are at a sensitive time right now. This is the festive season. So many people would be going out with friends, and so many people will be betrayed by friends. Shanquella was betrayed by her friends. They betrayed her in so many ways. They betrayed her during the fight. They betrayed her just by having her paying for the accommodation, whereas they themselves had planned that trip, but suddenly somehow she was the one that had to pay for the accommodation. They betrayed her because also it said that $10,000 of hers just disappeared after that, after she was already dead. So among them, the $10,000 disappeared. I don't know whether it was in cash, I don't know whether it was in her account, but her 10,000 rand disappeared, besides the money that she paid for the accommodation. Fine. Now, coming to how would friends betray you? They left her there, dead, in that accommodation, for her to be found by someone else. How many times does that happen in real life, guys? That is, when I say real life, I'm using wrong words, because even her, that was real life. Even what I'm talking about right now is real life. In real life, guys, you cannot confirm anyone. Our lives are not movies. Our lives are not stories. You can be betrayed by the people that you love. You can be betrayed by the people that you did a lot of favors for. Think about Senzo Meyiwa. The Senzo Meyiwa case is a classic case of betrayal of friends. Whatever happened there, with his friends in there, is a clear betrayal of, is a clear display of betrayal. That's what I want to see. So the same way Shanquella dies in the hands of one of the friends, beating her up to a point where she dies, whereas the others are just watching. Instead, they are taking footages, they are taking videos of the incident, doing nothing about what was happening to her, and they never say anything to anybody about it. Right now, they are called the Cabo Six. The Cabo Six are on the run. No one knows where each and every one of them is. They are being looked for. There is a warrant of arrest, it's said, but they are never to be found anyway. Now, there are just too many parallels between Shanquella's case and Senzo Meyiwa's case. People are up in arms as to why are they not arrested, because clearly they are all involved. It may have been this Chardonnay guy or whatever guy, a girl that was beating her up, but they are also accomplices. They are accomplices in terms of they just looked when she was killing her clearly, and they took videos, and they even said she must fight for herself, even when they saw that she was not fighting for herself, and they left her there in that state. So the same thing happened with Senzo Meyiwa. He was betrayed by his friends. Even we do know that what Tumelo was testifying that witnessed then was just a pure lie. And we heard how selfish he was, how now it came back to everything is mine, it's mine. Even the Senzo's pictures, he called them his because they are in his phone. And the way he was claiming possession of those, you can tell that, yeah, shame. And he sold the pictures. So be careful of the friends you keep, because they might be in your company only because of the things that you do for them. And one little mistake when you are failing to give them, to provide them what they want, you can be squashed like that. They can squash you anytime, any minute, without even thinking about what's gonna happen next. Because really, you know, when I think it's Salty Entertainment that first shared the story, or I think I saw the story first on the Salty Entertainment before I even go to Twitter to go and gather all the information. Then it's a while ago, it's been weeks now. I remember that she was saying like this has got jealousy in it, and I was like of the wrong idea. Like I think I was of the wrong idea that it cannot be jealousy. Maybe we just use the word jealousy recklessly for everything. But right now my view have changed. Looking upon the things and the kind of information that is coming, I feel like it could have been. I may have been wrong by saying no, let's not paint everything with the jealousy brush. But in this particular case, I really do think like it could have been planned. And if it was planned, what could have been the motive? Can also be jealousy, of course. And for them to now want this and that from her, and there is a rumor that they wanted some more. They wanted her to do something for them, and she refused. That's how the fight ensued. And I can believe that, because you don't understand why would she be fought like a person like that, and the others are just sitting and doing nothing. So that means they were like for the idea that no, she needs to be beaten up. And who will? And one of them said, I will. And she beat her up while the others were enjoying the fight that they were seeing, because they definitely wanted something from her and she wasn't providing, or she was tired of providing. Really, it's bad. It's just so bad and sad to watch, and to think that we've got many young people, even adults, but I think the young people need to hear this more, because they tend to love their friends far too much, and they stand more chances of being betrayed by those friends. So this is the time to everybody evaluate their life. This is the time to take such stories, such incidences that happen to other people, and put yourself in those shoes, and maybe you can avoid some of the things from happening to you, because really it's scary. What happened to Shanquella is very scary. The same way what happened to Senzo Meiwa is beyond scary, and for it not to be solved for so many years is because the friends were involved in it. And remember, everybody is like, no, that cannot happen. If the friends were there, the friends could have. Yes, Shanquella. Here is Shanquella. The friends were there. Had it not been for that footage, we would be under an impression that maybe Shanquella, they would have came up with any excuse to say no, she said she was living with a boyfriend and then we decided to leave, we don't know what happened. We could have believed them because they are friends. We could not have thought at any given time that even the best friend was highly likely to have said, hey, fight for yourself, at least fight for yourself. Who would have thought that a best friend, a person that is known to be her best friend, would have said that? If it wasn't for that footage that contains his voice being heard in there to say, at least fight for yourself. Whereas it was clear that this person was no longer in a state to fight for herself, even when there was a time when she had been maybe already gotten the neck injury or the spine injury. When she was sitting like this girl was just going on at her with a fist on the head, and none of them saw the need to stop it. They did not see the need to stop it. It's worrying, it's gruesome, it's horrible. May it not be your children, may it not be you, may it not be me. Having friends doing that to you. Guys, we really absolutely need to watch ourselves, watch our backs. Do not entrust your life in anybody's hands. Do not try and entrust anybody with your life. Do not. There are too many examples that we can use that clearly state, do not entrust anybody with your life. Thank you so much. Enjoy the festive. Try and keep safe. Let the death come to you. Do not go to death. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.